Welcome, welcome. We
Hello, everyone. Let's see if we can get anyone on. I know it's Friday night.
mhm,
It's been a long week for many of us. It's been a long month for me, a long day. We're glad to be here.
as you can see, we are in a Carolina blue. We spent the time today to go and visit our um, freshman who's just starting her collegiate experience at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Go Tar Heels.
Whose idea was that to go down there? He's only
Well,
been there 2 weeks.
um, I got notice that there was a group that was going down, and I rearranged my day in order to join the group.
Let me just tell this. So we were planning to go, well, I won't tell on Carmen, but anyway, we were headed there because I wanted to let the girls, the youngers, the littles, see Carmen's room because they didn't get to go with us to move her in. So that was the plan for us to take her down, take them down,
Oh,
and somebody else jumped in our car. It
well,
was supposed to be a girls'
and
thing.
tell what happened when Carmen saw the car pull. What happened?
Um,
What was the first thing that she did?
Daddy's here too. So
Right,
it was perfect.
right. So I think out of the whole population, she appreciated everyone, but there was an extra um, mention.
It's true.
There was an
It's
extra
true.
mention.
You made her day.
So we're grateful to have this opportunity because Carmen had gone to, excuse me, had been accepted by a number of schools outside of the state, and had that been the case, we would not have been able to do what we did today. Now, we could have put on the t-shirts like we did, but it wouldn't have been possible for us to just jump in the
Yeah,
car.
we've never been able to do that. So Carmen's our third child in school, and even though Kristen wasn't that far away in Richmond, I've never even been to Sydney school before because Sydney goes to school in Maine. So because COVID, we couldn't move her in. That was terrifying and troubling. So Adrian's been to Bowdoin, but I've never
One
been.
time,
Yeah. And so
one
this
time.
is the dream. Today was the dream that I
Yeah.
could go and actually just take my that child out to lunch that's in college. So that was pretty cool.
Not only that, but we have three, as Shirley's gone through, mentioning Richmond and Bowdoin and now Carolina. And we have three in school because actually Kristen's finished at Richmond and she's about to start at Duke.
Which is going to be very interesting
Yeah.
come January, basketball season. But
Now, you might be wondering, why are we talking about these aspiring young ladies who we believe are going to do great things in the course of their lifetime? And we just make that statement for some reason. But especially when you probably have noticed what we had named or titled this video. This video was called Breaking Cycles. And it all ties in actually because it's no rare thing for us to have heard from people about how they are amazed at what our children have done, right? And what we are seeing is our children are going to college, and that's noteworthy because in my family, I'm the seventh of 11 children, and I am the first to finish college. I am the very first. Now, my younger brother came behind me, who's right under me, and he went to school like myself on an athletic scholarship, and he finished as well. But I was the first, and it is um, no small thing that I can be able to say that. In effect, what has happened is I've broken a cycle of limitation. um, even a cycle of poverty, a cycle of of containment, if you will, because you know there are certain things that our society is structured that you can't attain unless you have a college degree. Now, while that's an arguable point of fact where some people don't like it or not, truth of the matter is that there are certain things that you have to have credential in order to be able to pursue the career and the benefits that come with it. And so, what the Lord has allowed me to do, I truly believe, is to be a cycle breaker. And I know that there are others who are positioned to do likewise within your particular family history and your family dynamic. Charlie, what would you say about being a cycle breaker?
Well, I think all of us can be cycle breakers. There are certain it's no it's a known fact that even when you go to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna ask you questions just to understand cycles and patterns that have been in your family. What we have to understand is that if there has been a pattern in our lives that um, if we don't if we don't break it and break out of it,
Mm-hmm.
it's going, especially wounds in places in our lives where the enemy has oppressed and tormented us. If we don't end those cycles, we're going to pass it on to the next generation. It's a
Yeah.
spiritual fact.
Yeah. And so it is now that as this cycle has been broken in my lineage, in my blood, my children are we're batting 1,000. And all of our children are in school and they're matriculating. Kristen to another level and postgraduate studies. And I just really believe that this is the kind of dynamic that is essential in every family. Question becomes, do we deserve it? And do we appreciate it to be that and really stay committed to shattering that type of a mold, that type of a cycle that has kept us bound or in limited results.
I just want to I always like to put a disclaimer in here. We're not saying that every child has to go to college to be successful. That's not what we're saying. But when we got married, that was one of the things that my husband said. I want all of our kids to, of course, have great character and moral strength and all of that. But he's like, I want them all to get a degree. That's something that we've been decreeing and declaring. And so I'm not saying we're not saying that if you don't have education, that's a cycle, but it was a cycle in his life that he wanted to break. And all of us can be cycle breakers. We can make a decision that whatever limitation, whatever the enemy has kept from us, we can be the ones to break it.
There are individual examples of cycles in families where everyone has gone to prison,
Mm.
not to exclude the mothers, you know, and that has the opportunity to be broken as a
Or
cycle.
or everyone has died of a particular disease,
Correct.
cancer,
That's what I was going to say.
or um, or everyone's marriage has ended in divorce.
Right,
These are the types of cycles,
right.
and poverty is definitely one of them. And so, one of the ways that we decided to break a cycle of poverty was to make sure we made declarations, spoke of, and prepared our children for college. So that's one of the things that we're doing.
So if there is a cycle in your life, a cycle that is in your family line, I want you to consider the true reality that you could be one who ends a vicious cycle and instigates, launches a new beginning pray that that grace and you will be you'll be empowered in that regard because again, I live victorious in every sphere of their lives, not in one thing alone. Um, you can have a lot of money and have no joy. You can have a lot of kids and have no peace. Um, you have the opportunity to craft and shape the future that you want. And I'm so grateful to share this with you tonight. Prayerfully, you will identify those things and you will feel encouraged and inspired to bring about a new outcome. And so thank you for spending a little bit of time with me this evening. Pray that you will be blessed and encouraged and inspired. We'll see you again soon.
Good
Take
night.
care.